Good morning, everybody. It is 6 a.m. and we are out here at Guadalupe Mountains National Park. We are here to do Guadalupe Peak, which is the highest point in Texas. And if you follow my channel for any number of reasons, a couple may be one that I've posted a fair amount of videos from Guadalupe Mountains on my channel. And the other would be that we post videos of our family doing high points. Well, today we're getting to do both. And this is our home state of Texas. So yeah, here we go. I think I may be a little more excited than everyone else in our group. Boys had a tough time waking up at 5:15. We've had 2 long weeks of road tripping. You know, it's tough waking up and immediately starting a hike, especially a hike like this, where the hardest part's going to be this first mile and a half. You can see back here behind me the sun just now coming up. We started right at sunrise, and we're trying to beat the midsummer heat here at the park. It is end of July, so it's going to be hot today. Olivia and I were talking on the way here. She hasn't been back to the Pine Springs side of the park since our first trip together in, I think it was 2014. My boys, Caden and Ethan, have never been over here. We've all camped together at Dog Canyon before, which is an awesome side of the park, but completely different than the southern side of the park. There's the parking lot where we started from, down below, visitor center, a little farther back and to the right. And there is no breeze at all today, which is definitely not a trademark of these mountains. It's usually very windy here. And we could go for a little bit of a breeze because quite a few bugs like gnats and things like that.
Gross.
Very interesting. Deer leg right here on Guadalupe Peak Trail. It's not the first time that I've seen something like that out here. We've made it to the cliff section. A lot of people who haven't been up here before are nervous about this section, but it's really not bad at all. Looks way worse in video and pictures than what it actually is. There's Olivia coming up the cliff section, and it is a steep drop off, but there's other points in the trail where it drops off just as far. You just don't notice it because you're not conscious of it, I guess, because there's no signs bringing your attention to it. Y'all excited for the shade?
Yes.
7:15 in the morning. It's already hot, hot, hot. So we're about halfway through the trail, and the trail really evens out. Obviously, you're still going up, 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 but after that first mile and a half, it really does get easier, and you're getting over in the shade quite a bit. Some large sections of shade, and some where you're just hiking through all these trees. Makes it really nice, but it's a lot better than hiking out in the open desert of that first mile and a half. You can see Hunter Peak across the canyon there, and that's what I always judge to see how far up I am, and we've come up a pretty good ways. It's the 6th highest peak in Texas, but it's very similar height to Guadalupe Peak. It's only a couple or a few hundred feet shorter, and once we make it up over top of this right here, be passing by the Guadalupe Peak backcountry campsites, and we'll get our first views of the actual summit. A mountain stroll in the shade. Not a lot better in the desert. Maybe some water would be nice, but we got plenty of that. You can see where we came around the corner earlier, right in there. And then we've been making our way up over across this way, and then down below here. Made it up here, up to these switchbacks. And once we crest this set of switchbacks, the trail will I'm doing air quotes, flatten out for a little while. We're about 3 miles in. That's the first view of the actual summit up there. Everybody is really enjoying walking this somewhat flatter trail and definitely being over in the shade. If you are going to hike this during the summer, I would highly recommend starting as early as you can. We are at the spur trail to the Guadalupe Peak campsites. Back over this hill, you can backpack up here and stay there. That's my boys right there. We're exactly 1 mile away from the top, and right back behind these trees is the peak. Everybody coming across the little bridge that spans that tiny gap. It's the highest bridge in the state of Texas. Did your pole get stuck? Almost there, little buddy. Almost there, little buddy.
Are you gonna call me?
Almost there, little buddy. Look down Guadalupe Canyon. There's an aoudad right below us. Those aren't bighorn sheep, those are invasive Barbary sheep from Africa. We got a lot of them in West Texas. I was telling the boys that usually you see one aoudad, there's a group of them. We never did see them. We started hearing them. They're right at the base of that cliff over there. See them right there in the center of the shot. We could hear them all the way over here. Excellent climbers. They are well fit for this sort of terrain. There they are. Boys found this huge grub. That's definitely the biggest one I've seen. We are in the last little switchback section in the last quarter to half mile. Gets a little steeper up toward the top, but boys were just stopping and checking out the amazing views. They say these views are unlike any mountain they ever been on. The views just keep going and going. How steep is this, guys? This is a pretty steep section.
Way to go, boys.
All right, let's hear your yell. Woo! Guys, we have made it to the top. There is the summit marker here on the top of Guadalupe Peak. 8,749 or 51, depending on who you ask. Well, guys, we have made it to the top of Guadalupe Peak at 8,749 feet. This is the 14th highest U.S. State Highpoint, and this is our family's 34th U.S. State Highpoint that we've summited together. Caden and I walked over to a little side point out here. Check out, that's the Salt Basin Dunes, some gypsum sand dunes down there. Del City back in the background. It's a long way down there. You notice some of the salt flats out there are holding water from rain they've been getting. It is the monsoon season. If you look over this way, that's Shumard Peak. That's the third highest mountain in Texas. Bartlett is behind that. You can't see it. Be the fourth highest, and then that back there in the very back is Bush Mountain. That's the second highest mountain in Texas. Give you a close-up view of each side of the summit marker. Post office department is because of the Butterfield stage route that passed just under this mountain back in the 1800s. Pretty good explanation of why you'll see that. And on the other side, it's the American Airlines symbol. It's a unique summit marker for definitely compared to a lot of the high points we've been to. There's a great view looking down on El Capitan from the top. You can see the highway down there below it, just to the left. The summit of El Cap is also in the top 10 highest mountains in Texas. Really neat hike out there to that far point, although very hard, and I wouldn't recommend it to maybe a newer hiker. Turning to the west out here, then you start to get the expansive views across West Texas and into southern New Mexico. See all the ladybugs congregating up here on the summit. They're in every plant and you can hear them flying around. Well, we've had the summit area to ourselves for a while now. Taking a good break up here, checking out all the sights. We are ready to head back down. Some more groups headed up this way. We made it up here in right at 3 hours, which is pretty good for our group. A lot faster than we did on Humphreys. And we are headed back down, hoping to make it down a little quicker than that. Gonna eat some lunch down there at Frijole Ranch. Heading back down. This is probably the steepest section of trail. One little section you got to kind of scoot down.
Well, if you have to climb up it. Like at the end of the day, I would have like 20 little. We underestimated it. I said 2, you said 1.
We are making the turn. Head back down the opposite side of the mountain. There's Olivia and Caden, and there's our car right down there in the center. Back on the sunny side, gonna be hot the rest of the hike. It has gotten super hot. I think everybody's feeling it on the way down. We're all thinking about getting back to the hotel here in a little bit and going for a nice cold swim. We are almost back. That's the parking lot right in front of us. And we have picked up a tiny little breeze, which isn't much by Guadalupe Mountain standards, but we'll definitely take it because it has been super hot. And we've seen a few different small groups going up since we've been coming down right in the heat of the day. It's almost noon, and we even saw one group wearing jeans and cowboy boots, which sounds really tough. So we are walking back into the parking lot right now, done with our hike. It took us almost 6 hours, just south of 6 hours round trip, and that's with 30 minutes at the top. It took us 3 hours up and a little under 2.5 hours down, and we just made it back to the parking lot. There's the trailhead sign behind me, and we're happy to have number 34, high point number 34 done. And I appreciate you guys following along. If you're interested in any of the other high pointing videos, I have more state high points on my channel, little short videos, and I have tons more videos of Guadalupe Mountains on my channel. Check those out. If you're interested in high pointing, it is absolutely one of the best activities you can get into with your younger children or teenage children or pretty much anybody. I've absolutely loved it, and it's been great getting my kids all around the country going places we never would have been other than we were headed there for the state high points. So this may be one of those places for you. We had a really long hike today, tough hike. The boys are super happy they're done. We made it back before lunchtime. We were headed to some air condition and then to the pool. Appreciate you guys following along, and we'll see you next time.